You're watching ESPN's Holiday Hoops, presented by Kay Jewelers.
Welcome to St. Louis and a great border rivalry that's become a holiday tradition. The Missouri Tigers are one of college basketball's remaining undefeateds, putting up numbers that defy belief and scream dominance. Illinois has historically had the upper hand in this series, but it will take a great performance to secure victory tonight. Effort and atmosphere won't be a problem. After all, it's for bragging rights. Welcome to ESPN's coverage of Bud Light Bragging Rights, part of Holiday Hoops, presented by Kay Jewelers. From the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, it's number 24, Illinois, and 8th ranked Missouri. With Bob Knight, I'm Dave Pasch. Welcome, everyone. Coach, you look at the numbers for Missouri, they're incredible. They're 11-0, first time in 3 years. They're doing it with offense, but it's not just run and gun offense.
No, they get an awful lot out of everything. Bringing the ball up quickly, setting it up, going inside. They don't have it. They rebound well offensively. And I think the most striking thing that we talk about is the difference in their scoring as opposed to opponents scoring, the margin that they have. Now here we're going to see Missouri bring the ball down. They look a little bit. They position themselves, get some spacing, willing to get it back out or go in with it. Really nice move there in the post. This time they're going to go inside with it again. They rebound really well. Good position on the board. Throw it back out. Now they're going to utilize the three. Before I always thought maybe they shot the three a little bit too quickly, but it's just a different, I think, approach that Missouri has, Dave, offensively than they've had in the past.
All right, Coach, as we look at our one-on-one segment and see graphically what Missouri is doing offensively, number 1 in the nation in shooting, 2nd in scoring, and Coach, number 1 in scoring margin by almost 28 points per game.
That is the thing that really jumps out at you, no matter what kind of schedule. And the early season schedules are not as difficult as the conference schedules for either of these teams, but regardless of that, that kind of difference, that kind of margin is something very exceptional in today's basketball.
Starting lineups for tonight's game, one thing that Illinois has that Missouri does not, and that is a 7-footer in the middle in Myers Leonard, who's averaging 13 points, 8 rebounds, and a couple of blocks. He's joined by Griffey, Paul, Richardson, and Maniscalco, although Bruce Weber says that they'll likely go small to face Missouri's small lineup, presented by Bud Light, with the Pressey brothers, English and Denman. English at 6'6". Ratliff is the center. He is 6'8", but he leads the nation in field goal percentage.
Leonard has really developed during his couple of years at Illinois, from kind of a gangling kid to a pretty effective basketball player. But Ratliff is extremely quick and aggressive inside. He's going to be a handful to handle in the post.
Missouri's won 2 straight in the series. Illinois comes in with 1 loss in the year. That was against UNLV, and a bad opening possession by the Illini. Unlike Missouri, they have struggled on offense. Illinois this year near the bottom of the Big Ten in just about every offensive category, including shooting at 44%. Here's Ratliff down low, able to get the shot off over Leonard, but he couldn't finish, and Maniscalco out of there with the basketball.
Even though Ratliff missed that, that's an indication of how difficult he's going to be to play against, the movement that he makes inside.
Brandon Paul with a 3-point shot, but Illinois doesn't get back, and Ratliff with an easy bucket for Missouri.
Now that's the thing that Missouri does extremely well. When you've scored or you've shot and missed, you better get going back quickly on defense, because they get the ball up the court very quickly.
Here's Griffey. And now Paul will fire up another 3. That one way off the mark, but a Missouri foul as Ratliff pushed off on Leonard. That's the first foul in the game. And a lot of people, when Frank Haith was hired as the Missouri coach to replace Mike Anderson, They question the move because of his lack of success. Just one NCAA trip at Miami, but I know, Coach, you feel he's done a terrific job this year.
Oh, I think this is an extremely well put together team, Missouri. I've seen them play twice, and I've been really impressed both times. That was one of those fouls called kind of away from any action that I think just doesn't ever need to be called. Illinois loses a little bit, I think, when they bring one of their big kids out to handle the ball at the top of the key. And
Griffey called for traveling, no basket. Bruce Weber in his 9th season. 3rd active coach in the Big Ten to get to 200 victories, joining Tom Izzo and Bo Ryan. There's Denman putting it on the floor and then throws it away.
I'm not sure who that was to.
You were open.
I could have caught it. I'm not sure I could still shoot it.
Missouri has beaten Villanova. You saw highlights of that at the outset of the telecast. Also knocked off Notre Dame by 29 and Cal by 39. Has got another Missouri foul. That's on Denman, his first.
Now, Missouri's got to react well to that call because it's an indication that they're not going to be able to push and shove very much around the basket.
They react pretty well, Denman, but he missed the layup on the other end. Had numbers but could not convert after getting a steal. And Maniscalco on the drive. Missed the layup. And Maniscalco really struggling of late. He's a key guy for Illinois. As the three-pointer is off target from Matt Pressey, and Leonard able to clear.
The thing that I've always wanted to see in offensive basketball, Dave, is make 3 or 4 passes before you take the three. It's always going to be there.
Paul able to get to the bucket. He's got all 5 for Illinois.
Now, Illinois has done a very good job here at the start getting the ball inside. They've missed a couple of easy ones, but just the fact that they've gone inside against Missouri has been important to them.
Maniscalco called for the foul for reaching in, the first on Illinois. And Bruce Weber electing to go small. Going to bring in Abrams, actually going to pull Maniscalco and keep Griffey on the floor. Ratliff will come out of the game. And Steve Moore, who is the tallest player on the Missouri roster at 6'9", will come into the game.
Missouri does a good job of spacing. They use the whole floor. They kept it here on the right side a little bit too long, but they got it moved across, and they do a really good job of using the 50-foot width of the floor.
Phil Pressey with a missed 3. Missouri 1 of 5 from the field. Griffey inside, able to score, and it's 7-2 Illinois.
Missouri lost contact with people inside that time. That was just a bad move on their bad defensive setup on Missouri's part, and here they overstepped the baseline and were called for inbounding the ball without making the pass. That was a good call.
Poor concentration by Missouri. Here's Paul, who has 5 of the 7 points for Illinois, puts it on the floor. Got his own miss. Can't stick it back in, but Griffey working hard. And the swat by Moore. Here's Pressey racing down court. Able to get past Abrams to the bucket.
As we said earlier, Illinois is really going to have to get back because the Presseys are about as good a pair of guards as anybody in the country at getting down the floor quickly. Really great help. Great defensive play there.
And Pressey gives it up. English with a finger roll.
Well, that's the first time that Missouri was able to get help on the post man. They've been playing, Illinois has been playing against one guy inside until Pressey got in and helped that time.
Here's Richardson for 3, and Griffey with another offensive rebound. And another block by Moore. Missouri out in transition. Here's Denman spotting up. Hits a 3. Seven straight points by Missouri to take an early 2-point lead.
And what's resulted or been a big factor in that lead, Dave, is that Illinois is not getting back as quickly as Missouri is getting back on offense.
Shot clock inside 10. Here comes a screen and an offensive foul called.
It was a very good call. Movement by the screener. The screener moved into the screen. And that was a very, very good call.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And in part by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
Well, here Missouri's got all 9 points off fast break and 5 Illinois turnovers in less than 5 minutes action.
Here we see some pretty good defense that leads to 3 baskets. These were the first 2 situations that Missouri got help when the ball was in the post. And there's a third one. And now they're going to come down. They get good spread, good timing with the 3. So we've got 7 points as a result of really good help defense by the Tigers.
7 straight points by Missouri to take a 2-point lead. Into the game for Missouri is Michael Dixon, who off the bench in his last game scored 30 points. A lot of guys who can put it in the basket for this 8th-ranked undefeated Missouri team. And Dixon driving to the basket. Richardson called for a block, his first and the 3rd on the Illini.
He didn't move real well. He tried to make the defensive play from the side of the driver instead of taking the driver head on. And as he did so, he moved right into the driver, and that results in the foul.
And actually get Brandon Paul, so it must have been on the reach-in that they get the foul on Paul.
Yeah, it was.
And they're saying it's a shooting foul, so Dixon at the line. We mentioned the 30 points he had the other night against William and Mary.
Defensive man on a drive, defensive man sliding to help, has almost got to get in the exact path of the driver, because if he gets at him from sideways, you're going to see here, he's going to reach in and there's going to be a foul right there. He reaches into him. He wasn't head up with him. There's a little fake on top, little foot fake, and he went with it, and that put him in a bad position.
Dixon gets the free throws, 9 straight points by Missouri.
Now this is, Missouri rarely uses the press. They just throw it on now and then. There's a little bit of a different look from the defense. Causes a little bit of problems, makes them slow it down a little bit. We won't see it nearly as much as we've seen Missouri press in the past.
Paul catch and shoot. An offensive rebound by Bertrand. Illinois with 4 offensive rebounds so far to none for Missouri. Here's Paul again. Wild shot that time. Good defense again by Steve Moore. Already has a couple blocks in this game, and now Denman spotting up for a second 3. Straight points for Mizzou.
Illinois has gotten the ball inside pretty well, Dave, but they just haven't capitalized on the opportunities that they've had inside. Missouri's been a little bit slow getting some help inside, and that's why they've had some good opportunities.
And finally, Richardson with the jumper ends the 12-0 Missouri run. Pressing right back down court, gets the bounce. How hard is it, Coach, to get back on defense after made baskets like that and stop Missouri?
Well, you've got to have your mind set that this is going to be a speed game defensively, that we've got to get back. We can't be waiting around. As soon as that ball touches the hands of the defensive rebounder, 5 guys have got to be going back, just like this.
Here comes Pressey, finds English. And English will try a 3, and he buries the triple.
Well, they've done about as much offensively as a team could do here in the first 7 minutes of the game, Dave.
19-9 is the score, a 17-2 run. Well, Missouri has made its last 6 shots from the field and has a 10-point lead. Getting buckets mostly in transition, like this 3-point shot from English.
Really good move to get the ball back to English, and English was perfectly set up for the shot. He caught it with that right foot back. As he caught the ball, he stepped into it with his shooting foot, which is his right foot. That was a picture-perfect shot from the perimeter.
Here's Maniscalco on the drive. And able to hit over Phil Cressy. And they need him to score, averaging 11 points per game, but just shooting around 25% from the field over his last 4. Not scoring a lot of points during that span. Ratliff strip, it got the loose ball. And another strip, and that went off Ratliff's foot, so it's Illinois ball.
Ratliff's got to be careful about getting the ball on top of the key and then trying to do something off the dribble. He's a lot more effective when he moves down in the low post area where he can fake one way and come back the other way. Him putting the ball on the floor isn't going to add anything to Missouri's defense from that far out, or to Missouri's offense, really.
There's Leonard, who has not taken a shot yet in the game. He will here, though, or at least had an attempt, but he couldn't catch the pass from Maniscalco. And a pretty jump up over Ratliff for his first points, and Illinois back within 6.
Missouri had good help on the postman to start with, and then they gave it up, and they gave in doing so, Leonard had a step that he could take to set up that shot. They helped stay with him, he would not have gotten that bucket.
And Cressy with another short jumper. He's got 6 points for Missouri. And the Tigers have made their last 7 from the field as a unit. Ball tried to hit Bertrand backdoor, and Bertrand did a good job keeping it alive. So Illinois maintains possession. And Bertrand with the finish, as Leonard somehow got it to him.
Leonard made an excellent pass there. He knew where his teammate was. He put it on the floor, brought the defense to him. I'd still like to see Leonard stay in that low post all the time. He's not going to add anything to their offense out on the perimeter where he's been handling the ball a lot. But get him inside, he's going to cause problems for Missouri.
Maniscalco turns it over, the 6th giveaway by Illinois. Missouri on top by 8 here in St. Louis, Missouri. And Missouri shooting close to 70% from the field, leading Illinois by 8 midway through the first half. St. Louis, the meeting place, about halfway between Columbia and Champaign. It's the 31st annual Bragging Rights game. And the way that they've got it set up here at the Scott Trade Center, literally at the midcourt line, it is split one side all the way around to the other. You got black and gold on the left, and all Illinois fans to the right. Missouri has won the last 2 in the series, but Illinois on top 27-14 all time in this meeting.
You know, real interesting thought here at this break, Dave, is that Illinois finds themselves down by 8 points, and yet they've gotten 4 more shots than Missouri has.
They've been able to get some offensive rebounds, but they've also had a lot of empty possessions, Coach. 6 turnovers and just 7 field goals for Illinois.
Yeah, if you go on to 6 turnovers, that's about 25 for the game if you average it out. You just can't have that. This is where Missouri has pretty good patience.
But Ratliff called for the offensive foul there. That's his 2nd personal.
Well, that's just what we mentioned a moment ago about Ratliff putting the ball on the floor. That's the 2nd time he's done that from out on the court, and a turnover has resulted each time. They had great spread there, and just as I was saying about patience, then Ratliff decided to charge somebody.
So Steve Moore comes back in the game. Moore has come up with a couple of rejections on defense.
Well, Ratliff is a very, very effective post player, but that's when he's posted on the lane, not when he's out in the corner.
We've seen that on both sides so far in the game as Maniscalco's 3 is in and out. We've seen Leonard out in the high post and up past the three-point line a lot. He's out of the game right now. Egwu is in at the center position. Missed shot by Dixon. And here comes Illinois. That's its first miss in the last 9 attempts by Missouri.
There's a walk there. Missouri gets good pressure on the ball when it's on the perimeter. And there's excellent help right there. They get the bucket, but they got excellent help inside.
And Richardson shot over 2 guys and hit it.
Hey, going over Moore is not a short target that you're shooting over, but Moore did a good move going to the bucket, to the ball.
And Moore with a good pass there. And he also gets the save. He dished it out to Pressey for a 3, and now a triple by Denman won't go.
These last 2 possessions that Missouri has had have been their worst because they haven't moved the ball from one side to the other. They've taken it down in the left corner both times, and it's just totally unlike what they were doing to get that lead. Attack from on top is so good, Dave, because you can go either direction from on top. You get it down in the corner. The baseline is the best defensive player in the game, and when you've got the ball against the baseline, there's only one way you can go, and that's up. You've got to stay above the baseline so you can go either way.
And Denman just picked up his second personal foul, Coach. Tomorrow night, ESPN, ESPN2 have a college basketball doubleheader. 7 Eastern, Louisville taking on Western Kentucky. The Cardinals, one of 6 unbeaten teams left. Baylor also among the unbeatens, playing West Virginia on ESPN at 9. Missouri, Murray State, Indiana, Syracuse, the other undefeated teams. As Maniscalco gets inside, and Illinois has cut the lead to 4.
It looked like that Missouri was set up in some kind of a zone against it, and Illinois took great advantage of the holding.
And they give up a 3 on the other end. Pressey now with 9 points. That's his first 3-point basket.
Both Presseys are very good with the ball. They do great things with the ball other than just getting it in the basket. They take it into positions where somebody else can score on a pass. They are a very, very good playing pair of guards.
Of course, their father Paul was an outstanding college and NBA player as Maniscalco drains a 3. And this is what Illinois needed. They needed points from Maniscalco, and he's starting to heat up. He's got 7 now. It's back to a 4-point game. Here's Pressey. This is rare. Missouri taking the shot clock inside 15 seconds. Pressey almost walked, and then blowing the layup is Steve Moore.
Yeah, Moore didn't have the ball at all. He had to get his feet on the floor solidly first and then try and go from there.
Leonard off the heel, and Crandall Head able to knock it out of bounds off of a Missouri player. So it stays Illinois ball. It's a big possession for Illinois when we come back. Within 4 as Sam Maniscalco, struggling shooting the ball of late, start to get going for Illinois. And Coach, both the schools involved in this game tonight playing in bowl games. Missouri in the Advocare V100 Independence Bowl on Monday against North Carolina, 5 Eastern ESPN2. Illinois playing UCLA December 31st. But here are the real athletes, Coach, as we were seeing during the break. Bragging rights on the line, not just in basketball. Look at these guys here.
Well, not just the guys that are holding the gals up. I mean, these girls are great athletes to be in. Look at this gal, 1 foot, staying up there with that foot. The balance is so good. She doesn't tilt backward. Those kids are as good athletes as you're going to find, both the guys and the gals.
It went on for another 30 seconds or so. We couldn't show you all of it, but there was actually a spill at the end, but everybody's okay, thankfully.
Now Missouri's playing zone. This is their second possession in a zone. And the way they had set it up, there's not much for Illinois to do inside. Illinois had the big guy outside, and against that zone, they're going to have to get him inside and make him be in a position where he can occupy everything around the bucket.
There's the end you saw there with the Missouri cheerleaders hitting the deck, but both hop to their feet and everybody's okay. Crandall Head, a little out of control there on that possession, goes to the bench. Illinois has made 6 of its last 7. The shot clock is at 7.
still in the zone.
Here's Maniscalco with 3, lets it fly. And long rebound to Steve Moore. And Moore took a shot to the face. He's given Missouri some valuable minutes off the bench as Michael Dixon buries a 3.
See, Illinois just totally went to sleep there. Richardson was in against the lane. He had to be moving out on Dixon on the pass, and he just didn't do it. And then here's another thing. See, there again, big kids out on top handling the ball. Griffey's out on top handling it, and I don't understand that one.
We've seen Leonard out there too for Illinois, and also Missouri doing that. That was one of the turnovers by Missouri, where they had Ratliff out there trying to put it on the floor from 20 feet away.
Missouri's done a great job so far in utilizing the jump shot. They've moved it, they've looked to drive, and they've got people in position where they can use the jump shot. It hasn't been just coming down and taking the shot, Dave, as you well know, without trying to explore other avenues to get a shot.
Pretty disciplined, wouldn't you say, Coach?
I think very disciplined. I mean, it's a team that plays fast, and I think there's a discipline to the quickness with which they play at the offensive end.
And Illinois is going to call a timeout here. Missouri on top by 7. 6.5 remaining in the opening half. Missouri leads Illinois by 7. NBA is back on ABC and ESPN. TNT kicks things off Christmas Day with the Celtics Knicks at noon. Mavs Heat, Bulls Lakers on ABC. Oklahoma City and Orlando followed by the Clippers and Warriors on ESPN. Missouri with the basketball. Denman from the corner, short with a 3-point try. And Brandon Paul out of there with it for Illinois. Missouri leading the nation in field goal percentage, number 2 in scoring.
Back in man-to-man Missouri now this possession after 3 zone possessions.
Paul putting it on the floor, and offensive foul. That's his second personal, and the 4th on the Illini here in the half.
A really good defensive move by Moore. Moore saw the drive coming and got himself in position where the only way to the bucket was right through him. Look at him there, big 32, just holds, draws the foul on the charge. Just a good turnover, one less possession that Illinois will have to score from.
Again, Moore has given them a lift defensively. He's come in, had a couple blocks, and had good position on the low block. Myers Leonard has not had but maybe 1 or 2 touches on the low block for Illinois. There's Pressey off the screen, and a great look down low. English didn't spin it in. Illinois couldn't catch up to the loose ball, though. Tigers basketball.
Missouri's had 4 or 5 cracks at the bucket that they haven't gotten anything out of, either the foul or the basket. And the possession before this was one, and now this one is another one.
And Pressey thought that he was to inbound it underneath the basket, but it's a side out.
That side out is just trying to get the ball back in play up on the court. What a good drive that was.
And Dixon shoved by Abrams, his first and the 5th on Illinois.
I always felt, Dave, that when there's a drive involved in an offensive possession and it results in a foul, it should be a foul on the driver, because when that driver starts his move, the defensive man away from the driver has got to get into position to draw the charge, or at least make him stop and come up and take the shot. And when that doesn't happen, then you're going to foul the guy like that side position we were talking about. So rather than have a play that stopped the drive, Illinois had a defensive play that gave Missouri 2 points.
Dixon with the second free throw. Do you think adding the restricted area to the college game will help deter that, Coach, or no?
I don't think so. The thing that I don't like about that line is that it takes away defensive help, and I think defensive help is a big part of the game. I was never in favor of that line.
DJ Richardson now with 6 points as Illinois is back within 7.
That was one of the few times on the Illinois drive that Missouri didn't react defensively to get into a help position. But again, it just shows that the baseline is tough to play against.
Here's Moore with the jumper. Steve four, dropped about 20 pounds in the offseason, become more agile. And a pretty looking jump shot that time down the court.
They're kind of dropping back into man-to-man, which is good. It gives them less room to operate in Illinois, and you can get to a help position quicker.
Maniscalco with a good look, couldn't hit the three.
Moore made a great defensive play right there, Dave, and going up and getting a piece of the ball.
Matt Pressey and Phil Pressey both lost the basketball. And a Missouri foul is called in the backcourt on Phil Pressey. That's his first. 15 foul on Missouri. Griffey back on the floor. Abrams will go to the bench, so Illinois goes a little bit bigger. Coach, how do they get Myers Leonard some touches on the low block? He's been very quiet. He has just 2 shot attempts in the game.
Well, they've got to keep him down there to begin with. He's got to play down on the block, and they've got to look from side to side and watch him. Now look right here. He's up on top. He may get a jump shot, but you got to use a guy like that to draw the foul, to get you into the 1-and-1. And for me, he's just playing way too far away from post position.
Pull-up jumper by Richardson is good. And Richardson now the leading scorer for Illinois with 8 points. Inside 4 minutes to go in the opening half. Missouri by 7, trying to stay unbeaten. A turnover by English, and head called for traveling.
This got a little bit out of control with the ball. That was when you had to back off the dribble. Look down the floor, back off the dribble, make a pass, and you still have the ball.
Missouri, one of those undefeated teams, trying to go to 12-0 for the first time since the 1981-82 season. They've got a 7-point lead. Illinois has not attempted a free throw yet in this ball game.
I think a thing that would help that was having a consistent post presence and going down there. Those kids are strong enough, they're post guys, to come up with some fouls.
Missouri ball in a 7-point lead, 3.5 to go. Yep, traveling is called on Matt Pressey. That's the 7th turnover by Missouri. That's a lot for them. 3 consecutive turnovers. They average only 9 per game, number 2 in the nation, and fewest turnovers behind Wisconsin.
When I was coaching, it was always great to see an official react that quick to a mistake. And Mark Whitehead's one of the better officials that I've ever seen. And yet he called it almost as quickly as I did. Not quite as quickly as I called it, but close.
They've never been as quick as you. And there's Leonard down low, and what do you know? He gets it to go.
Absolutely. And you're either going to have to get help in on him, or he's going to score against you, just like they did there.
Pressey down the lane, no. Kept alive again by Steve Moore. What a first half he's had for Mizzou. Playing a lot of minutes, too, with Ratliff on the bench in foul trouble.
But I really think that with Leonard inside or Griffey inside and going to him, they're going to really have some scoring opportunities. He did a great job that last time he had the ball inside. Leonard did.
He's 2 of 3 in both of those buckets right around the rim. There's Maniscalco, and head with a short jumper. Won't go, and ripped down by Matt Pressey. A good rebounder at 6'2", averages about 5 boards per game. Here's Phil Pressey with the floater that's short, and it's cleared by Myers Leonard.
Missouri's not as good offensively in these last 4 or 5 possessions as they were up until this point. They've gotten a little too quick. They haven't explored the defense as much as they were originally.
Maniscalco had his 3-point shot blocked by English. Dixon in transition in the Maniscalco. It won't go, but a foul is called on Maniscalco, his second.
That's what's so good about the Presleys with the ball. They are so quick, it's difficult to get in front of them, either the Presleys or Dixon. No matter who has the ball coming down, you have really got to set up in such a way that you're not attacking them from the side.
You know, Phil is a sophomore, Matt is a senior, and Michael Dixon is a junior. It'll be Dixon at the line.
with those three kids, they're able to put constant pressure on full court defense. Anytime that Missouri's defense gets the ball, the defense of whomever they're playing, obviously in this case Illinois, the defense has got to beat them down the floor, and beating Dixon and either of the two Presleys is not an easy thing.
Abrams and Bertrand back into the game. Maniscalco and Head go to the bench. Meanwhile, Michael Dixon is the only player tonight to attempt a free throw. He is now 6 of 6, but nobody else on either team has even shot a free throw besides Dixon.
Back in zone now.
Here's a three-pointer that the foul is called on Pressey. It'll be 3 free throws for DJ Richardson. First foul on Matt Pressey. 6th team foul for Mizzou.
Boy, that's not a smart play. Anytime that you foul a shooter in the act of taking a three is carelessness. Get into him, get a hand up, get underneath his shooting hand, but don't put him on the line for 3 points.
That's the first free throw of the game for Illinois. You see the reaction by Pressey.
Well, that's one of 2 reactions there. Either he thought he didn't foul him or he's upset with himself. And knowing basketball players are as I do, my guess is he thought he didn't foul him.
That's what I thought too.
But regardless of how he felt, that was not a very smart play.
So the first free throws of the game for Illinois, and Richardson gets 2 of 3, and it's a 5-point ball game. With the way Missouri played early in this game, it looked like the Tigers might run the Illini out of the gym.
Well, I don't think that could happen because Illinois is just too good for that to happen. And they've maintained a fair control of the game and using their offense like this, going from side to side, looking for different things. They're going back to where they're going to score on almost every possession. It was that sequence, Dave, when they took the ball down in the left corner about 3 times in a row, they got him off balance offensively. And now I think the last 3 or 4 possessions here, Dixon is at the line again.
This will be his 7th free throw attempt of the game. That's the 17 foul on Illinois. It's on Richardson, his first personal. So Missouri in the bonus. Michael Dixon coming off a 30-point game, a career high, has 11 here in the first half tonight to lead all scorers.
The zone again. They bring Leonard up high.
Abrams going baseline. Can't get the reverse layup.
Moore didn't cover the drive as well as he should have. There's a wide open shot.
Pressey taking it to the bucket. Nobody rotated, and he gets the layup to push the lead to 9 again.
Griffey and Richardson had their backs turned to the drive. They were totally unaware of the drive going to the bucket. You got to know where the ball is. A standard rule has to be for the defensive player, always know where the basketball is.
Richardson had it stripped, but a foul is called on Phil Pressey. That's his 2nd and the 17 foul, so it'll be a 1-and-1 for Illinois, and Frank Haith can't believe the call.
I would really question that call. I think the defensive player was between the official and the ball to begin with.
And it'll be Richardson at the line for the 1-and-1. Misses the front end, and Missouri can hold for the final shot of the half, and Haith will call a timeout. Timeout, Missouri. A missed opportunity there for the Illini. Richardson unable to connect on the front end of the 1-and-1. Now Missouri looking to push the lead to double figures going into the locker room. I got the Diamond Head Classic coming up on ESPN. The Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. In one semifinal, it'll be UTEP and Kansas State. Coming up next on ESPNU, you've got Long Beach State and Xavier, followed by Auburn and Hawaii. You couldn't get us this gig, huh?
That's a long way to go. You know, it's great over there. The people are great, but I'd just as soon go out on the other side of Idalou and pheasant hunt.
There's the layup by Phil Pressey, where you're talking about a couple of Illinois players had their backs to the ball.
Now, one thing here for sure, you don't want in 15 seconds something to happen that gives Illinois another chance to score. Even if Missouri doesn't score, they just don't want to give it up.
Pressey can't get it to go, but his brother Matt is there for the stop. What an end to the first half for Missouri. 11-point lead for the Tigers is their largest tonight, thanks to 15 fast break points, and they haven't given up any on defense. Phil Pressey unable to convert, but his older brother Matt flying in there for the follow. Now Jonathan Coachman, Jay Williams, the Kay Jewelers halftime report.
You're watching ESPN's Holiday Hoops, presented by Kay Jewelers.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of Bud Light Bragging Rights, part of Holiday Hoops, presented by Kay Jewelers. From the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, it's Missouri on top. Its largest lead of the game by 11 over Illinois. Dave Pasch and Bob Knight. Coach, Missouri did what it usually does. Gets up and down the floor, takes quality shots. Meanwhile, Illinois didn't try to get the ball inside that often, but when they did, they had problems. You know,
Missouri only had a little glitch about 3 or 4 possessions in a row when they got the ball stuck in the corner. Other than that, their offense was awfully good. And you're absolutely right about the big kids from Illinois. They've got to get down inside more often because they're big enough, their bodies are wide enough that they're going to get some baskets, as we're going to see right here. They get it blocked. That's more at that end, but still he's big enough. Leonard is, Griffey is, to do some damage inside. And I think here we get a shot of Leonard, and he bangs and bangs, and he's going to be awfully tough to stop if they get him the ball inside.
Had only 3 shots in that first half. Hit 2 of them. 4 points for him. DJ Richardson, the leading scorer for Illinois, with 10. 2 Missouri players with 11. Phil Pressey and Michael Dixon. Dixon was 8 of 8 at the foul line in that first half, and now 48 of 50 on the year at the stripe. 3-pointer goes for Matt Pressey. He ended the first half with a dunk, and now a 3-pointer to start the second half to push the lead to 14.
You know, Missouri does a great job with offensive footwork going into the jump shot. They are really, really good.
There they go to Leonard on the opening possession of the half and get an easy bucket.
I'd want Leonard to touch the ball on every possession down there. Every time down the floor, let's try to get Leonard touching the basketball and then see what we can do from there.
Pressey with a strip, but it will stay Illinois ball. Missouri leads the nation in field goal percentage, second in scoring, and they're right at their average on the year. As we mentioned, Pressey and Dixon with 11 apiece. Leonard averaging 13 per game on the year, now has 6 after that field goal to start the second half for the lineup.
Missouri's back in the zone here. They used the zone about 6 possessions in the first half.
Missouri, one of 6 undefeated teams left in the country. Tigers 11-0. Leonard falling away, short with that one. Rebounded by Ratliff, who did not play a lot in the first half because of foul trouble. Alley-oop to Pressey. No good, but an Illinois foul.
At the other end, Leonard does not need to put the ball on the floor. When he gets it, he makes a ball fake, head and shoulders fake, and he's going to be able to turn either way. Now, he makes a mistake here, puts it on the floor, and then goes way away from the bucket rather than moving back into the defensive man with the shot. But getting the ball to him inside is important, and they did that on that possession.
And Matt Pressey at the free throw line. What's the biggest thing in terms of a teaching tool for a guy like Leonard, who has that athletic ability, who's 7'1", who's still learning the game?
First of all, just night after night, you hammer away with him. A little fake to the left, come back with a little left hand hook inside. A little fake to the right, come back with the right hand hook inside, depending upon whether he's going baseline or whether going to the middle. Try to get him to catch the ball with his feet not moving, head, shoulders, body fake, and then he can step in either direction without putting the ball on the floor.
And they go to him again here in the low block. And a three-point try from the wing is good for Brandon Paul.
That was a big, big bucket for Illinois right there.
They're back within 11. Early here in the second half, the Illini with just one loss on the year. That was against UNLV. Lost by 16 in that game as Ratliff steps inside and gets the bucket.
Ratliff did a really good job stepping over the defensive man, and Illinois didn't get any help back then on him. See, that's what I don't like to see with Leonard so far outside like that, because when he has the ball outside, he's no threat to do anything with it.
Kim English picked up the foul for Missouri, his first, and the first on the Tigers. Bruce Weber knows that Leonard still has a long way to go, but certainly a talent. Last year averaged 2 points per game. He's at 14 points per game this year. Again, he's a legit 7-footer.
Oh, he'd be a great kid to work with. I mean, he's a smart kid. He can go a little bit left. He can certainly go to his right hand. They couldn't find a better kid to work with.
Brandon Paul straddling the three-point line, so it's a 2. And Paul now with 10 points, tying for the team lead in scoring. Here's Denman on the baseline, taking it in. They'll go to the line for 2. Second team foul in Illinois.
Here, Leonard really didn't move to get into position on the drive. As soon as that drive was started, as soon as Desmond started the drive, Leonard has got to move with a foot on the baseline. You're going to see it here. He just doesn't move quick enough. Now he comes at him from the side, and that's always going to be a foul. But before he even got the ball to start the drive, before Desmond did, Leonard should have had a foot on the baseline, because, as we've said before, the best defensive player in basketball is the baseline.
One more free throw for Denman. As Missouri is now 12 of 12 as a team. That was a pretty good look by Phil Pressey, who comes in among the nation's leaders in assists.
Well, you know, we mentioned the Presseys and Dixon, and Denman is just the same kind of player as they are.
There's Leonard with the throwdown off the pass from Maniscalco.
And where was he? He was on the low block. He was down there. He was watching where the ball was. Defensive man, in this case it was Ratliff, wasn't paying attention to where the ball was, and they got the bucket because of it.
And a turnover by Missouri. Illinois trying to get it down to single figures. Leonard now with 8 points, 4 here in the second half. Bertrand on the drive, able to get it to go, and it's a 9-point game. Pressey racing back down court to strip. No foul call. That will stay Missouri ball. They're going to bring Steve Moore back into the game to give Ratliff a breather. As we showed you, Moore very effective defensively in that first half.
Well, it's good defensive play by Paul. Really a good defensive player by Brandon Paul. He stayed with him, didn't go into him with his elbow or anything, and got a piece of the ball.
Leonard out of the game. Egwu, a freshman from Chicago, comes in. Egwu played a little bit in the first half. English putting it on the floor. Now the pull-up. Too strong. Rebounded by Paul. Where does Illinois go offensively with Leonard on the bench? It's Richardson. Short. No passes on that possession. And now Pressey. Beautiful crossover. And a foul by Egwu. His first and the third on Illinois.
We're going to see that the defense really doesn't come in right there. They leave it up to the big kid who's just come into the ball game, and he was up a little bit too far in the lane, and it gave Pressey a chance to get past him, and the only way to save a bucket was to foul him from behind.
He's just having a tremendous run right now. 6-to-1 assist to turnover ratio in his last 6 games.
Well, you know, you go back again, we're going to add Denman to that threesome that we had, I think, Dave. You take the two Presseys, Denman, Dixon. These kids are very good with the basketball, and they're good mid-range shooters. And we got into the lane too quick, I think.
Yep. One more free throw coming up for Pressey. And they're going to bring Leonard back into the game, so just a short rest. They'll replace Egwu. I know, Coach, you haven't been able to see all of the teams ranked in the top 5 in person yet, but of the teams you've seen in person or on TV, where do you put Missouri right now?
Well, I think Missouri is the best team I've seen play, and I think they play the best of any team that I've seen play to this point. And I think that they will continue to be that kind of a team throughout the course of the season. They're going to be all anybody, I think, can handle. They've got depth. They can shoot the ball. They have that great quickness on offense.
Here's Leonard with the long jumper. And almost tipped in by Paul. Well, Missouri got off to a great start last year, kind of struggled in conference play, was just 8-8 in the Big 12 and lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Dixon with a beautiful move, able to scoop it in with the left.
See, those kids are a threat to do something really good. Those 4 kids are really, really good on the perimeter. And because they can shoot the ball, they don't have to get all the way to the bucket. And they're very clever. Illinois has got to do a better job of help defense against the drive.
Missouri on top of Illinois by 13 here in St. Louis. Coach, take us inside the play and talk about what Illinois has to do to stop the drive better.
Well, I think that any time that a guy's set up to drive the ball, like right there, people have got to move. Now, there was defensive movement against the driver there, but here we're going to see it. Leonard comes out. He has no chance of stopping that drive outside. He's got to back off and get himself in the position where the shot has to be taken over top of him, where Presti has to shoot over him rather than going right by him for the layup. A defensive adjustment to help position is vital to defensive play.
Maniscalco looking for a driving lane of his own, and boy, Phil Presti just took it away from him. Now Dixon down court is fouled. We'll see if they count the basket here. No bucket, but it is a shooting foul, and Dixon, who's perfect at the line tonight, 8 of 8, will go back to the stripe as Missouri again able to attack the rim in transition and get to the line. Back in downtown St. Louis, 31st annual Bragging Rights game. Missouri's won 2 in a row and leads this one by 13. One of the best free throw shooters in college basketball, Michael Dixon at the line. He is 8 of 8 tonight, 48 of 50 on the year. We talked about some of the incredible offensive numbers for Mizzou entering tonight's telecast. One that we didn't mention but deserves mention is their free throw shooting. It's not that they just shoot the ball well and are efficient offensively, but when they get to the line they make them, although as I say that, of course, Dixon misses one.
It never fails, David. It never fails, and particularly when you're sitting on the bench. And we really need this free throw. This is a huge free throw for us. And you start thinking about it, and all of a sudden we're down to 1 out of the 2. But that being said, the free throw difference is 16 free throws for Missouri and only 4 for Illinois. That's 12 more points possibility for the Tigers.
Ball hits the jumper. Of course, you won a national championship on a missed free throw. I bet when Derek Coleman was in line, you guys were all saying, hey, we need him to miss this one. Back in '87.
That plus a great pass by Darryl Thomas that led to a basket by Keith Smart that was a winning bucket. But the pass was the key to the whole thing.
55-43, Missouri on top, trying to go to 12-0 on the year. Oh, Presti again got in the lane. He could not finish that time.
Presti dribbled the ball 17 times there before making his move to the bucket, which means that 4 guys are standing, waiting. I think you make a 2-dribble thrust, and if you don't get there, give it up, just as they did there. Now, they missed the 3.
But Bertrand there with a cleanup, and it's a 10-point game again.
But that was a little 2-dribble move and give the ball to somebody that's open for the shot.
English going back door, but the passing lane wasn't there. Now Dixon falling away. Rebound Bertrand. By the way, that bucket Bertrand had last time down, the first second chance points of the entire game for Illinois. Here's Leonard with a baseline Che off target. Cressy leaving it for Denman. And the spot up three hits the shot clock. It'll go to Illinois.
Missouri's gotten into a little bit of a tussle right here with Illinois insofar as quick shooting is concerned. They want to be in the 1-and-1. They want to be going to the free throw line at every opportunity. And this has not been a good last 4 possessions for Missouri on offense.
Illinois trying to get it down to single digits. They had it down to 4 late in the first half, but a fury by the Tigers at the end of the first half. Leonard, nice move, just couldn't complete it.
That's what Leonard has to give that team.
Cressy with a 3-point opportunity. Maniscalco picking up the foul. That was a great look as well in transition.
Boy, again, I really marvel at the ability of those 4 kids that we've mentioned with Missouri, Dave, and what they can do in full court offense. They all can hit the shot. They all can drive. They look for open people. Well, what a great asset those 4 are to the full court offense.
And then you have a guy in there that we didn't include in that 4, Kim English, who essentially is playing the 4 in Missouri's system, and he's the one making that bounce pass. Maniscalco picking up his 3rd personal foul, 15 foul. Off the screen, Richardson an open 3. And now Illinois is just not making shots. 3 of 11, make that 3 of 12 from behind the arc. Under the basket was Dixon. A transition bucket opportunity for Illinois, and Bertrand able to hit.
Again, I think they're a little bit careless right now, Missouri. They've had things pretty much their own way, and we've seen that lead from 15 or 16 dip down to 9 because they've tried some very, very difficult shots going to the bucket.
First fast break basket of the game for Illinois. That's the Missouri lead to 11. And now Cressy, thanks to the great screen by Moore. English with the offensive rebound. And then 2 Illinois players touched it. And it will stay Missouri ball when we come back to St. Louis with the Tigers on top by 11. Jonathan, tomorrow night college basketball on ESPN2 at 7 Eastern. Louisville taking on Western Kentucky, followed by Baylor and West Virginia on ESPN. In the Las Vegas Classic, part of Holiday Hoops, presented by Kay Jewelers. Missouri, Baylor, Louisville, Indiana, Syracuse, and Murray State, the undefeated teams remaining in college basketball.
I think that I'm sure that Coach Haith talked to Missouri about moving the ball a little bit, taking some time with it, and right away they take a 3 on 1 pass.
And they give up a dunk on the other end to Brandon Paul, and it's a 9-point game.
Missouri's got to have a couple of good offensive possessions in here, or this is going to come down to a game.
And Missouri shooting around 30% from the field here in the second half, while Illinois is over 50%. Cressy leaning in, and they're going to get Richardson for the foul. Wasn't that caused by the offensive player, or was that the good call?
No, I don't think so. If we look at it again, I think we're going to see that Richardson's right arm is going to come over top of him, right there. Got a piece of him with it, and Cressy did a good job going right into him also, but he was moving. Thought that was a good call.
Second foul on Richardson, and Cressy, an 80% free throw shooter, misses the first. That's the second miss of the game for Missouri in 18 attempts. Gets the second one. Back to a 10-point Missouri lead, led by 14 earlier in the half. Look at the foul differential, 6 committed by Illinois, just 1 by Missouri so far.
Oh, come back to your left. A great pass.
Terrific Leonard. And then Bertrand with the slam. Back-to-back dunks by Illinois.
I was just saying there was room to the left. Come back to your left. To your left hand, which means you've got to turn to your right shoulder. And the cutter saw that movement, but it was a great pass by Leonard.
That's his 4th assist, Coach. He also has 6 rebounds and 8 points.
Well, he's going to get those assists, Dave, inside, because if people double up on him, it's going to be easy for him to get it inside.
Missouri with a turnover. Traveling is called, and a big possession coming up for Illinois.
Now, Leonard made a great defensive play there, a really good defensive play. Here's the cut. Right there's the cut. Really good cut and an excellent shovel pass. Then right away the next possession for Missouri, Leonard made a really good defensive play down there. And the whole idea for him, I think, to be a real asset is to stay down low.
He got him up high here, setting a screen.
Well,
for
he made a move low.
And Paul is 3 in and out. No passes on that possession.
No, they went too quick with it.
And now Pressey with the teardrop, and Ratliff with the putback.
Leonard's getting a little tired. You can just see him as he's coming down the floor. He stopped out here because I think he was tired rather than anything else.
Abrams on a drive. Again, no passes, but Leonard there with the offensive rebound had it stripped. Pass broken up there by Paul. Bertrand got it, and a Missouri foul, a 3-point opportunity. Joseph Bertrand, who averages 3 points per game, has come off the bench and provided an offensive spark for Illinois with 12 points.
This will be one of the few times that we've seen Missouri not react well to help defense. We didn't really get anything out of Pressey there on the drive. He just kind of waved at him as he went by, like, hello, goodbye.
And Bertrand gets the free throw. It's a 7-point game. Colin English, his second, only the second on Missouri in the half. And you saw Bruce Weber there. He was about 3 or 4 feet onto the court. That's the second time the officials have had to push him back towards the Illinois bench. Here's Pressey on the drive. A great look to Ratliff. And good defense by Leonard.
Leonard just stood and raised his hands. That big size, big frame. He was tough to shoot over. And the great thing that he did was not use the arm in a downward motion and commit the foul.
Leonard from way out, able to hit. It's a 5-point game.
Now, there's a big difference in Leonard moving out to the foul line and getting the shot than there is in him wandering around out there setting screens and catching the ball and throwing it to somebody. Now we're going to see Leonard's in good now he makes a good move there. He recovers well, and he gets good pressure on the shooter without the foul. Now we go down here. He's set for the shot. Nothing wrong with that. But to keep him down low is going to be so important to Illinois.
Coach, would you say the difference this half for Illinois is Leonard's involvement offensively?
I don't think there's any question about that. Not only that, Dave, but he's done a very good job defensively. He's moved when the drive has been made. Guy starts to make the drive. You can see Leonard move to play the driver. But down on the offensive end, he's had 2 good passes now for baskets. He stepped out and hit a shot. But his effectiveness is on the post inside. And I think that's something that they've got to utilize more than they are. Now, they're obviously right back in the ball game, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that Missouri's offense is just too much dribbling and isn't nearly as good with as many people involved as it was until right now.
Denman taking it in, lost the ball, Ratliff out of there with it, almost a backcourt violation, and now they do say over and back, so turnover Missouri.
Oh, I don't think so. I think that he was on the floor when he caught the ball when he stepped across the line. I don't think that was we're going to see here.
I agree with what you said.
I think he was in the air as he was coming in. I don't think he was on the backside of the line.
It is a turnover. Illinois looking to cut the lead to 3, maybe 2. Here's Bertrand on the drive. Beautiful finish. That's 15 points now for Bertrand off the bench. A 13-3 Illinois run. Denman turned it over again.
A lot of that is because of Leonard inside. They're a little bit afraid of taking the ball up on the bucket. They're afraid that he's going to block it, and so they try to make a pass, and that time was a pass that just wasn't going anywhere.
How about Joseph Bertrand with 10 points this half? 15 points for the game off the bench to lead all scorers.
Illinois has done a great job here in the second half of getting themselves back into the game, and it has been a half of mistakes, but the vast majority of the mistakes have been part of Missouri's offense. It's going too fast. It's taking shots too quickly.
How about Bertrand again? He's got Illinois within one. He's perfect from the field, 8 of 8. It's a 15-3 Illinois run. There's Pressey. The rainbow three won't go, and Illinois can take the lead.
Well, this really surprises me, the shot selection of Missouri here in the second half.
Oh, what a play by Dixon getting the steal. And Ratliff bringing it up the court. Out of control. Offensive foul.
See, Ratliff has got to be smart enough that when he crosses midcourt and gets near the three-point line, that he just gives the ball up. Let somebody handle the ball that can do something with it.
He's called for traveling before the offensive foul. But it's Joseph Bertrand that's been the story. 17 points, a career high as Illinois is back within one.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And in part by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building.
And Jonathan, they get Baylor tomorrow night. West Virginia does. Meanwhile, Illinois has climbed back within one. Missouri, a team that is second in the nation in fewest turnovers, has given it away 13 times, and this half shooting 29% with 6 turnovers.
That 29% is indicative of the kind of shot they've been taking. Drives under pressure and threes too quickly. Missouri right now has a 17-3 advantage from the foul line over Illinois, and that should have been the cushion that, along with really good shot selection, took this game away from Illinois.
Illini looking to take the lead. Paul to Leonard. Can't get it to go. Got it back though, and is fouled. He'll go to the line for the first time tonight. Steve Moore picked up the foul, his first. 13 foul on Missouri.
Now Leonard just playing inside and playing low because of his size. He's just going to get some things because of how big he is, and he has been a huge difference in this game in the second half.
And you see that touch at the free throw line. We saw him nail a 20-footer earlier. He's a 72% free throw shooter.
Well, you want to get him to the line too. I mean, you have a post man that people are going to have to double team. Then one of the great assets is going to be his ability to go to the free throw line with help on it.
Illinois leads for the first time since the 16-minute mark. Actually 16-10 on the clock in the first half, the last time they led. As he gets a block on defense, Leonard does, but it's kept alive by Moore. And now Pressey with the floater. That ends a run of 21-6 in favor of Illinois. Missouri back on top. 16 points for Pressey. And Paul called for carry.
See, that's that individual dribble offense, and you know every team has some of it, and those that get rid of it are always the better offensive teams.
Remember, Missouri's undefeated this year at 11-0, trying to go to 12-0 for the first time in 30 years. One of 6 unbeaten teams left in the country. And misfiring on the three is Pressey.
I just don't see that. You come down, you've got no chance of getting a foul on a three like that. Get it inside, get a bucket, or get a foul. Get some score out of your possession.
Unfamiliar territory for Missouri. They've beaten teams by an average of 28 points per game on the year. That's #1 in the country. Here they are in a close game. Let's see how they handle it.
I don't think they've been behind in the second half yet this year.
Abrams from the corner. Leonard with the tip. It wouldn't go. Bertrand there. And he threw it away. It's Missouri ball.
Pressey right now is trying just a little bit too much. I call him Pressey the younger and Pressey the elder, and he's just doing a little bit too much individually right now, trying to get the lead back for Missouri. He's got to be more conscious of other people on the floor.
16 points for Pressey, but some quick shots early in possessions. We mentioned 6 teams that are still unbeaten. Syracuse #1 in the country. Louisville, you'll see them tomorrow night. Indiana, Murray State, which some feel may have the best chance of going undefeated throughout the season. Baylor, and of course Missouri. And some of those undefeated teams in action over the next couple of days. Well, you talked about Missouri not trailing in the second half of a game, so there's no negative experience to fall back on, right? In those situations, how do you handle it as a coach?
Well, you just more patience. They've been very, very impatient, and I bet there have been 15 shots taken off the dribble, Dave, here in the second half without passes being made.
And here's one again. Pressey putting up the air ball.
And see, he's putting that up against big guy. That was a block. I mean, it barely got out of his hands.
That was off a timeout, too. Here's Richardson. Illinois looks to retake the lead, nearing the 5-minute mark here in the second half.
Leonard's got to move more in the post. Here he's coming across. Look for him in there.
Bertrand didn't have the angle, and now Paul on the drive. Shot clock at 6. Paul over 2. Missouri Tigers puts it in.
Illinois has had much, much greater patience on the offensive end this half than Missouri has had.
Dixon buries a 3. Missouri by 2. Dixon has had an outstanding night. 17 points to lead Missouri. Tigers touch it last there, so Illinois keeps. Missouri led by 14 points midway through the second half. Then a 21-6 Illinois run. We've had 4 lead changes the last 3 minutes. Maniscalco comes in for Illinois. Missouri is going to take more out and put Ratliff back in the game.
You know, we were talking about not using Leonard in the first half. Missouri did not use more in the second half when he was in there. He just overpowers people in the post, but they never got him the ball to use that strength. And he can go either way with those little hook shots, but he hasn't had a chance to even get a shot.
Leonard posting up. Now he'll catch it out high. Shot clock at 10 for Illinois. And broken up by Dixon. Shot clock at 5. Illinois turns it over. Four-minute mark. Missouri ball. Dixon another three-pointer. This one in and out. No passes again for Missouri.
I'm amazed by that possession.
And then Dixon picks up a foul trying to come off the screen. Going a 14 foul on Missouri.
You know, every shot that's taken like that, and they've had a lot of possessions like that, eliminates the possibility of going to the free throw line. Or anytime there's a drive, it enhances the possibility of going to the free throw line.
Missouri by 2 over Illinois. Late in the second half. Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers, and we've got the Diamond Head Classic action on ESPNU tonight with Xavier Long Beach State And Hawaii-Auburn, UTEP and Kansas State advancing earlier today to the semifinals.
You know, we've had 4 different teams play here tonight, Dave. We've had Missouri in the first half as one team, Illinois in the first half as the second team, and then Missouri has been the third team and Illinois the fourth team. They've just been exact opposites, both teams from half to half.
And those numbers right there, 3 for 16 off the dribble and 4 of 7 off the pass. They were reversed in the first half for Missouri.
Well, the shot off the dribble coming across midcourt is something that I just never wanted to see, because you eliminate the foul, you eliminate somebody getting a real good opportunity to drive the ball.
Here's Paul with a pull-up 3, and he gets it to go. And Illinois is back on top. He can't even believe it.
It looked like there's a soft piece of iron on the bucket that kind of cradled the ball.
An absolute brick that ends up counting for 3 points. And now Leonard with good hands there to knock it away from Ratliff. They're actually trying to get it down low here on this possession. And now they reverse it to Denman with a shot clock at 9. Again, they're late in the shot clock, which is rare, and Pressey will take it in behind the back to Ratliff. Got the shot off, beat the buzzer, and banked it in.
Now that was a shot that clearly, I think, was made by Pressey looking to make the pass rather than take the shot.
Missouri by 1, 2.5 remaining. Maniscalco finds Leonard with 10 to shoot. Timer's at 5. And Richardson bailed out by a foul on Missouri that will not put Illinois at the line, but it will reset the shot clock as Denman picks up his 3rd. 5th team foul.
That's one of those fouls that you just absolutely cannot commit. As a defensive player, you're on defense. You've got to know that if we can just force them to keep the ball moving 5 more seconds, the best they're going to get out of this is a bad shot. Now they've given them a complete possession and given them 35 more seconds than they would have had without that foul.
Let's see if they can get Leonard a touch on the low block.
We ain't going to get it out there.
Looking to set the screen for Paul. Paul goes opposite the screen. Now a 3-pointer. It's off the mark, but a foul on Pressey. It'll be 3 free throws for Richardson. That's the second time that Matt Pressey has fouled a shooter from behind the arc.
Well, and we've talked about just how much of a basketball sin that is. Watch it here. He actually goes into him right there, and there was no need for him to turn. Just go straight up in the air. He moved about 3 feet into the man with the jump. It was a leap, a forward leap rather than straight up in the air. We used to really work hard when you went out to pressure the 3-point shooter. Get into position, go straight up in the air, because if you go forward, you're going to put him on the line for 3, and that's just what happened here.
He's an 84% free throw shooter. It's the second time tonight he's been fouled shooting a 3. He gets both on this trip with 1 more to come. 7th lead change in the last 4 minutes after Missouri dominated most of the game. Matt Pressey will go to the bench.
If Illinois wins this game, that foul in the act of shooting the 3 will be the most important single play in the game as far as Illinois and Missouri are concerned.
He got all 3, and Illinois leads by 2 with 2 to play.
That was a 3-point gift.
Missouri, number 1 in the nation in margin of victory. Their smallest win was by 10 points against Nova. As Ratliff gets the handle and scores, he lost it for a moment, regained it, and put it in to tie it at 70.
Boy, that was a quick-handed move by Ratliff. I've not seen many kids that could have picked that ball up so quickly.
Here's Bertrand, who's had a great night with 17 points for Illinois. They go to Leonard, bad pass, and a turnover by the Illini. Here's English. Bertrand will challenge. English scores. And a foul. A 3-point opportunity for Kim English.
here we're going to see the bucket. Ratliff has great hands here coming up with the ball. He didn't lose sight of the ball. He stayed right with it. And then here's a really, really quick move and a great athletic play going to the bucket. Those were not points that Missouri scored because of Illinois mistakes. Illinois has scored some points here because of Missouri mistakes, and that's why they're in the game right now. Missouri has had as much to do with Illinois being in the game as Illinois themselves have had.
5 straight points by Missouri to take a 3-point lead with 1:27 remaining. That was the 17th foul in Illinois, so Missouri's in the bonus. The Illini will be in the bonus on the next Missouri foul.
Illinois is going to get at least 2 more possessions to score, including this one.
Here's Paul, picked up by Pressey, and he throws it away.
That's the first big mistake that Illinois has made on the offensive end. That's just a very, very careless play. Now this is going to take some time. Missouri's got to put themselves in a position where they have a chance to score from either the free throw line or a 2-point attempt.
Missouri with the ball, a minute remaining, leading by 3, trying to stay unbeaten. Tigers 11-0. Denman off a screen. He'll drive it on Leonard. Can't finish. Neither does Ratliff, but he got it back. That time he got it to go. And an Illinois foul. 7 straight points for Missouri. And a free throw coming for Ratliff.
That's the second great hand play that Ratliff has made here in the last minute of play. Good defense. Could have been a foul. Ratliff follows it. He doesn't give up on it. He goes up through a foul to make the bucket.
Foul was on Paul, his third, and Ratliff is only a 68% free throw shooter, his first attempt tonight. Rebound Paul. 7-0 run in the last minute by Missouri. Richardson. Leonard with the tip. It's a 3-point game. And a timeout by Illinois with 45 seconds remaining.
See, Leonard lined up low, and there was a little drive there. Although Paul missed it, it occupied the defense inside, and it enabled Leonard to be in position to tip in. I mean, I don't understand why he ever goes away from the blocks. All right, here are some great plays that enabled Missouri to get back in the lead. Ratliff's hands there, his staying with it. Ratliff tips the ball away, and they get a great play on the break along with the free throw. And now Ratliff comes in, stays with it, and gets the bucket.
So how do you handle this now if you're Illinois? Do you go for the quick foul, or do you let Missouri take time off the shot clock? It's something they don't normally do.
Well, I think that you give Missouri a chance to I don't think you want to give the foul right away. I think you give them a little bit of a chance. You pressure them. You try and get them to throw it away, but you can't let them run out the whole possession because you're going to get the ball with only 44 seconds left to play. If the ball gets in the hands of the wrong guy, now here's the press. Now they got to be careful.
That's a guy they don't want to foul. You don't want to foul Dixon. He's shooting 95% at the line.
Well, Missouri's in charge right now.
Pressey is a 79% shooter. Illinois not fouling yet. And the game clock is at 25. About a 8.5-second difference between game and shot clocks. And it looks like Illinois is going to let Missouri take it down and get a shot off. They have to now. Timer's at 5. Pressey on the drive. Able to score.
They had to shut that off. Illinois had to drop in and make it impossible for Missouri to get to the bucket. That's not going to go.
Misses a 3. Leonard the rebound. Bucket by Bertrand, and now a timeout by Illinois. It's a 1-possession game, but Missouri has the ball. It's the final timeout taken by Illinois. So they elected
here,
let Missouri take it down and get a shot off, but they got a good shot off.
Well, they didn't really get good pressure out here. Like you called it really well that they allowed them to do that. And then once the drive started, they had to collect everybody on the lane and make him pitch it out. He's going to make the layup going to the bucket. They didn't want to foul him. And now I would imagine they'll foul him right away on the inbounds pass. There's just not enough time for them to let Missouri bring the ball up the court. But Illinois had to jam the lane, pitch it out. They have to take a shot or give it up to them, and I think that was the best chance that they had. Get a little pressure on people out here because they're still apt to make a passing mistake. They gave them, I think it was, I was trying to count it, they gave them about 11 seconds where they allowed Missouri just to hold the ball under no pressure at all.
Now, obviously, if Illinois doesn't get the steal, you foul immediately. If you do get the steal, if you're Illinois, don't call timeout. You don't have any left, and I'm sure Bruce Weber's reiterating that to his team. 3.3 on the clock. Do you put Leonard on the baseline? Do you not guard the baseline here for Illinois?
Well, I wouldn't guard the guy out of bounds. I would try and put whoever takes the ball out of bounds. I'd want that man right in the middle at the free throw line, and he's going to double up wherever the ball goes. Now, having Leonard play the guy out of bounds is good. I would screen Leonard and run the ball this way because he can.
3.3 on the clock. They get it inbounds to Dixon, and there's a hard foul. But Dixon is maybe the best free throw shooter in the country. He's 9 of 10 tonight, and on the year he is 49 of 52.
When I said screen Leonard, ball was taken out on the right side of the bucket, the offensive right side. Run a screen at Leonard, and you can move with the ball. So you run with the ball toward the other baseline, and you're going to get somebody open on that opposite side. But it worked well for Missouri because they need one point, and that ends the game. And even the fact that
it is a 1-and-1, so if he misses here again, Illinois without a timeout. Dixon hit it, though. Yeah. It's a 4-point game.
I was going to suggest that if he takes the shot and he's missed it, now the game's over with now. But if he missed the first one, missed the second one, and they can't get it down the floor, this will be fine. They can't get a shot off here.
And surprised Ratliff even challenged that. Why risk the foul at that point? Game over. Missouri wins 12-0. Best start in 30 years as the Tigers blow a 14-point lead, but come back in the final minute, being down 2, and win it by 4.
Well, you know, we saw a different Missouri team in the second half than we did the first half, and we saw a different Illinois team than we did. Fortunately for Missouri, in the last 3 minutes of the second half, they came back to play like they had in the first half. And I think had they not been able to turn that around like that, they'd have ended up getting beat here tonight on a great comeback by Illinois.
Final score 78-74. Missouri beats Illinois. Up next on ESPN2, it's East 60. For Bob Knight and our entire crew, I'm Dave Pasch. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. So long from St. Louis, where Missouri beats Illinois by 4.